my God.
Alright, well, we just bought out all of Whipple's supply, so if any of y'all need some Whipple superchargers, give us a call. Whipple superchargers, $100,489. We went ahead and bought out all the blowers they had in stock for the week. Alright guys, so a few months back, the Street Outlaw No Prep Kings guys, Ryan Martin and the producers called me to see if I'd want to be a part of this Elite 8 group when they came into Houston. It's just really just kind of it's a small tire class, but pretty much run what you brung on a smaller tire, and it's in between right before they run the big tire No Prep King cars, and they're doing it for every event when they go to different cities, right? So they asked me to do like a little what do you call it, Dean?
Audition tape.
Audition tape. So we did the audition tape, and of course we got approved, so we were one of the top 8s for the event for the No Prep Kings when they came to Houston. Last minute I had to bail out with family matters, so I wasn't able to attend that, but I still wanted to share that tape with y'all now.
Hi, Stephen Faraday here from Houston, Texas. Man, always into cars, always playing with cars at an early age. My first, I'll call race car, was the 98 Camaro sitting behind me. I actually drove this car to high school and even to college at Texas A&M. It started off as a nitrous car. Right after college, I got it to be the world's fastest LS. That was probably in 2001, 2003 or so. We went 790s at 174, so it was the first LS in the 7s 20 years ago now. And then we transformed it into a radio versus the world car. So it went kind of like to a street/race car to then a full-on race car with a 25-3 chassis on a 315 radio. Got rid of the LS motor, put a big block in it, which it currently has now. Billet block, billet heads, 572 cubic inch, and then yeah, I ran it radio versus the world for probably 4 or 5 years. Fast forward to last year, I decided to take it off the big radio, the 315. I put 275 radios on it. For the past probably year and a half, maybe 2 years, we've been running, it's called a no time small tire shootout. So they are still prepped, but I have to be on a 275 tire. It's pretty much run what you brung on a 275 tire. So I'll have to put a slick on it and see if I can get this much horsepower down a track with no prep. That's going to be the hard part, but I think we'll be able to do it, and it should be interesting. So since we switched to the small tire, they're called no time shootouts. We've entered 4 shootouts. We've won every single shootout. We are still undefeated in the small tire no time class. So I have a feeling we have something to bring to the table for this event. Keep that undefeated record going, which I think we will do.
So how'd the event go?
So the event, actually, the No Prep Kings event was awesome as always. I don't know if y'all watched their show or not. I don't get to watch as much as I used to. I don't watch the street show, but the No Prep King stuff I do like because it is cars like mine at a track doing what I like to do. They're just on big tires versus me. I race on small tires. It was a good event. The top 8 were there, and they were fast cars from Houston. I'd like to say if I showed up, I would have won the event, but I didn't. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, and anything can happen in racing, so it is what it is. Because we did not make that event, the producers have still been asking me to then come to their street event that they're having a new show, which I think is just a regular Street Outlaw show on the street, but they're trying to get away from race car type cars on the street because they already have the No Prep Kings series. So they asked me to bring our street cars to their event this upcoming weekend. So we've been preparing about 10 or 12 cars to take up there. I honestly think we're taking knives to a gunfight. Our cars are legit street cars, daily driven cars. Not saying their cars won't be street driven cars or daily driven cars per se, but 4-link car, ladder bar cars, stuff like that. It's a little bit different than these IRS cars we got. But either way, we're gonna go up there and try them and hopefully have footage for y'all here in the future.
So I know a lot of people are gonna ask and wanna bring it up. You've been on Street Outlaw before?
Yes, I have. We went for the very first season. We were supposed to, back then, they had big tire cars, race cars, racing on a street. We had a big tire car. I was testing it the week of. I wrecked that car. I made a commitment to them that I would show up anyways. So we brought a small tire car to show up, and we did race. I lost. I probably went 150 feet. We ran Sean in the Murder Nova with a big tire car. I went about 150 feet, spun the tires. He came around me. It wasn't even really a race. If I would have stayed in it, it wouldn't have spun. It could have been close, but big tire cars on the street versus small tire cars on the street, not even comparisons. So we went up there once. We did race other races, like we brought C6 ZR1s. We won a few races that weren't aired on television. Hopefully this time when we go up there, which I think it's been years, probably been 8 or 9 years, 10 years they've been filming, not really sure. But I know Ryan Martin and Sean are, I guess, now like the main two characters or narrators, as you will. I've known Ryan, I've been racing against him for 20 years. I trust him that it will be a fun and honest time, and hopefully the editors will edit all 10, 12, 5, however many races we do, win or lose. Yeah, looking forward to it. All right, also in this video, we have Mr. Sink's 2017 Grand Sport. It originally came in for our 800 horsepower supercharged package, which is for an LT1. We did a centrifugal blower, usually cam and headers are the main large parts. When we went to do the cam package, we inspect blocks quite thoroughly. Frankie's making a lot of noise right now while it's in the engine room, and we found a small crack on his block. So instead of doing just a normal drop-in piston that we do in this package, we went ahead and did a forged rod and forged piston from LME. So we went ahead and did a forged short block, still 376 and 377 cubic inches, still stock crank. But yeah, build video coming to you now.
The fresh Stingray or Grand Sport
isn't so fresh.
Oh no. Is that a common area right there?
I've seen them more on the bolts, on the head bolts, not really in between the cylinders. The older blocks that were thin, yeah, that was a common place, but that one was really not thin. It's, I want to say it's Siamese.
Alright guys, so if y'all haven't already noticed, those of you that also follow us on Instagram, our Instagram account got hacked. I promise you we're working very hard to get it back.
Around the clock.
God, it's so frustrating, guys, to just have your account one day just deleted and just nothing you can do about it.
No warning.
Yeah, I feel like I lost my cell phone, but worse. It sucks. But in the meantime, guys, please go follow us at Faraday Performance. That way y'all can keep up with our day in and day out stuff for the next couple weeks. Hopefully it's sooner than that. Hopefully we get it back sooner, but please follow us there. And again, yeah, check out what we're doing on our day-to-day stuff.
Here's the cameraman. How's he gonna ask what we're doing?
Once you start fucking with shit, I'll catch you.
Yeah.
Once you start shaking
I'm not talking about any weird sexual stuff. Right?
once you start shaking it,
Huh?
once you start shaking it or inserting it.
Whoa, buddy, I don't know what you're talking about. Now you're bringing the sexual stuff up.
I'm talking about boosting. How do you know how much to put in?
Usually about, it's 1 quart to every tank. These things hold, what, like 18 gallons of fuel, I think. We're gonna, customer wants to tune on boostane, so
I'm gonna pour some in. We're gonna put 10 gallons of more pump gas in it because it's pretty low on fuel right now. So it will tune it on it.
So how much will that raise it to?
Probably gain about 30, 40 horsepower, but the octane, I don't know.
Oh, crap.
They advertise, but I don't know what the actual octane is. I just know that the cars are definitely more stable that way with the fuel, with it in it. So, yeah. So, yeah. That's a straight 93 right there.
Straight 93.
Welcome back, guys. We are in Mr. Sink's 2017 Grand Sport. He shipped it to us, I think, from Nebraska for our 800 horsepower, 800 supercharged package. So this is a LT1, and our package includes pretty much a centrifugal blower. So we did a ProCharger. It's got a D1X on it, air-to-air intercooler, complete cam package, obviously American Racing headers, and all the other accessories. We also include a set of drop-in pistons. So we put a forged piston in this package. That way we can run 10, 12, even 14 or 15 pounds of boost if we want safely without having to worry about the factory pistons hurting themselves. In his case, I think he road raced this car a lot, which I didn't know until we started tearing it apart, which is, I'm glad, why we baseline every car that we get. The baseline numbers on the dyno were fine. Everything looked good. We went to pull the motor out to do our cam package and to install the drop-in pistons, and we found a small crack on the block. So that was the first indication that the car had been used. Doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna crack your block if you road race it. It's just, you know, stuff can happen. And then, so we get the car together. Instead of doing the drop-in pistons, we went ahead and did LME supplied us with a nice short block. We did pistons and rods, so stock crank. Put the long block together, put it in the car. I'm out test driving it, and literally I think like the second little baby pull I made, I could feel fifth gear slipping. So I didn't want to take any chances of completely grenading the transmission. Talked to the customer, and we went ahead and upgraded as well. So the car came in for a simple 800 horsepower package. Ends up leaving with a little bit more, I'd say, durability than it originally came in wanting, but it's a good thing. He'll be able to go out and do what we're about to do right now and have no issues with it. So now it has a fully built transmission with a stock torque converter in it, and I actually haven't driven the car yet. Ryan actually just went and test drove it and said it felt really good and said it shifted really good. I got the draggy in it. Let me try to set this up. I'm curious what it does 60 to 130. Let me back up so I'm not in the way in this parking lot here. Let me set the draggy up real quick before we hit the road so I'm not doing 10 million things here. All right, so the last C7 Z06 we did with roughly 750 rear wheel horsepower. Maybe 770, went a 588, 60 to 130. This one on 93 octane, safe. It made 800, but we turned it down. It should be making, I believe, anywhere between 760 and 770. It is a very hot day out, and as y'all just saw, I was idling for quite a long time there. So air temps are nice and hot, but I'm guessing a low 6, 60 to 130. I do have a good tire on it, so I'm gonna try second gear and put it in manual mode, let it shift through the gears just like the customer would if he's gonna roll race it. Tend to turn traction control off since we got good tires on it. Mr. Sink came in and we doubled his horsepower. This thing's gonna be a new animal when he gets it back. It sounds so good. It did come in with Vorla exhaust already on it, so it has a little bit deeper tone at idle and while cruising on the highway. But it doesn't have a bad drone to it like a lot of the old Vorla kits on the C6s and stuff did back in the day. Let's get everything set up, I hope. I always mess these up, but we'll try it. Centrifugal blower, the ProCharged usually a linear horsepower curve. Man, this thing still rolls as soon as you stab it. What I guess a 6 something, 60 to 130 and 6.4. Any LT1 owner out there, whether it's a Camaro or a Corvette, our 800 horsepower package definitely is what I call our best and even my favorite package, because you get the reliability by putting the drop-in pistons in. So the motor's forged, you ain't gotta worry about hurting a piston, and just the reliability of this thing. And it drives, like I said, the camshaft, depending on which one we select, what you want. We can go as aggressive as you want. It still drives super nice, whether you want to daily drive this thing or weekend drive it. And same with temperatures. This one's got the ProCharger on it with the big air-to-air intercooler on it. Coolant temps are still good, oil temps are still good. Man, all in all, LT1 package, this is where it's at. If you can't afford this package, that's when we do our 650 supercharged package, which is essentially supercharger and headers, no camshaft, no pistons or anything like that. And you're talking about 550 rear wheel horsepower. So 200 rear wheel horsepower more, quite a big difference in this car right here. I mean, it's 6'4", I mean, that's pretty sick. This thing at a drag strip would be a high 9-second car if it hooks up, which on these tires, it'd run 9s all day long. So I'm gonna pull over, check everything out, and head back to the shop and get this thing cleaned up for Mr. Sink. You can see it, the intercooler here. And of course we do the nice race blow-off valve, so I'll start it here for a second, and you'll hear it. When you rev it up, or even when you're driving, it's pushing the air out of the motor. When you go to get on it, you'll hear it get quiet, I call it. So the blow-off valve shuts, and then all that boost goes into the motor instead of to the atmosphere.
And then when you come off of it, it
again.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So you were going to show me how to check the oil on that catch can?
Yes.
Is that what?
Well, I was trying to, until I realized they done it like this. So, and this is a linear horsepower curve like we talked about. So, compared to like the root style blowers like the Z06s, when you first stab it, you have all that torque. Yours makes good horsepower and good torque, but it's linear. As RPM climbs, it's gonna just keep throwing you farther and farther back.
Which is what I want, because coming out of corners.
Yes, and it's easier for you to drive. I mean, this setup here, I'm telling you, after she drives for a weekend, I think she'd be fine. Just
she really hadn't hardly driven this.
I haven't driven it at all.
She didn't like that.
I drove my brother's once.
Okay. So that one makes more torque like right as you give it gas.
Oh,
this one will take a second.
Yeah, okay. I drive like I'm driving Mabel.
She drives like a grandma.
You'd be surprised. I actually do too, unless someone pulls it next to me. Everyone always asks, you drive all these cars, you probably, I'm like, I mean, unless someone pulls it next to me and I want to show them that they're slower, I baby them too. I don't know. I feel like I'm not wearing them out, but I just, I'm getting old, I guess. I don't know. Tell me what you think.
I'm asking yourself.
What do you think about the ride?
Nice, loved it. That'll do.
I wish I videoed it.
That'll work.
I took off and didn't even think. I'm like, damn it.
I'm sure I had a smile like this big on my face. So yeah, it didn't get better than that.
We did a third and fourth, fifth gear pull.
Yeah. That's awesome. I'm gonna love it.
Good.
That'll be fun.
Good.
All right. Thank you.
Go and get it in.
Let me go get Becky and we'll go.
Enjoy it, sir.
Thank you very much.
Nice meeting you.
See you too.
Have a
Take
safe
care.
drive.
Alright, hope you enjoyed this video, guys. As always, Mr. Sink, him and his wife, very cool customers. I love it when customers get to fly into town, meet myself and the crew here, go for shop tours, and then drive this car all the way back to Nebraska with 0 issues. Again, wonderful customer. Look forward to making him more horsepower in the future once he gets used to it. Those of you that are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Comment below about this video and what y'all like to see for future content. Until next time, guys. It's like Tommy Boy. Now I get it. Now it finally, it's just that little laugh you just did.
Tommy Boy.
You've never seen
You've
Tommy
never
Boy?
seen Tommy
My
Boy?
big dude.
Yeah. But just when you do that little laugh, now it reminds me why I laugh
So
so
much
much
brake
too.
pads, Justin.
Yeah. Alright, anyway, just had to say that.
Tommy.
That was the first time he did it. When first thing I thought of was, that was something Tommy Boy would
I
do.
mean, they were huge.
I have to write the way I write in case someone breaks in and steals our book so they can't read it.
Oh,
That's pretty
It's
fucking
top
smart.
secret.
gotcha.
No one can steal my book and know what I write. Or
No, they will not.
It's
if Steven ever
encrypted.
decides to replace me, the next guy because he can't read.
Good luck.
Sometimes I'm looking
But
like.
so you can't do that, but then you can
Sometimes
draw.
I'm like, oh, what did I write? I can't read
But
it.
then out there you can draw something on Will's car.
I blamed it on Frankie, and Frankie's like, look how fat the finger was.